The following live broadcast is rated Podcast 16. Parental guidance is suggested for children under the age of 16 years old. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and follow to Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube and Facebook. Or visit our website at www.earshouldervoice.com.
We've got some work together.
Good evening and welcome to Ear Shoulder Voice. I am Keith Litvin, glad to have you here. How was your Halloween night? I know what you're probably thinking, I'm not in costume, I was on Wednesday. Why am I not in costume? Because Halloween changes here for a lot of people. It just wasn't the same. Thanks to COVID and a lot of other events going on, people were not able to celebrate as usual. So what we're going to do tonight, our topic is going to be a Devilish night. That's our Halloween show. And it's just about what we did last night, how we overcame things, what changed about our past events, past Halloweens. Feel free, if you're out there, to like, share, follow, and subscribe to Ear Shoulder Voice on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter. I don't care. If it's out there, we're on there. So get out there, subscribe to all of it, follow us, live chat during the event, please, because as you do that, we will answer you live with our panel and everything, so that'll be awesome. I know I'm a little skippy and choppy from what I'm understanding. Hopefully that's going to clear up in a minute. We will try to. My turn for internet issues. Somebody's always got to have them. All right, so we're going to bring in our panel right now. This is our very last Halloween show we're going to be doing for 2020, so we hope you enjoy it. I'm going to bring in our first panelist right now. Please welcome Linny.
Hi.
Linny, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Apparently I'm a little choppy, and I guess being choppy on Halloween, that's how you're supposed to be.
Exactly. You're not choppy now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you sound good. You sound great.
So it's just my sounds choppy. Something's got to be going wrong, you know. It's all that spooky eeriness in the air. It didn't have a chance to release itself because Halloween we're supposed to release all that spookiness and all that. And now it's like, what the fuck do I do? I'm going to invade November. That's what's happening.
Yeah, not this year, right?
So how was your night last night?
I had a quiet night. I think everyone had a quiet night. I put candy on my little porch and put my light on, and I had a little sign that said, "Take 2 or 3, I'm dieting, don't want any left over."
I like that though.
And I still had candy there this morning. It was there.
Aw, so. Was some missing at least? Did some go?
Yeah, a little bit, but I don't know if that wasn't critters.
We'll say it was trick-or-treaters. It could have been critters. If you see little wrappers falling from trees, it was probably critters. But we'll go with trick-or-treaters for right now.
All right.
All right, I'm going to bring in our next panelist. Please welcome Karen. Karen, how you doing?
Hi,
Halloween,
Karen.
you don't get released to Karen. So, Karen, how was your Halloween night? And I know when I'm asking this question that it changed for everybody out there. So, what did you do last night?
I literally did absolutely nothing. I played video games and took a shower like midnight, went to bed. That's it.
So, did you take a shower like after 12? So,
yeah,
it was technically not
midnight.
Halloween? Okay, so you're good on that. So, you just did nothing. Yeah, didn't even take a shower on Halloween, I see.
Yeah, I played video games. I think I ran an errand during the day. That's about it.
That's it. It's funny because it really just didn't feel like Halloween this year, I think, for a lot of people.
Not at all.
Even leading up to it. A lot of people weren't decorating anything. A lot of houses weren't done.
I didn't even watch The Nightmare Before Christmas this month, and I at least watch it around Halloween, and I didn't even watch it this month. I was like, oh.
Well, I always do my movie marathons. We usually do the Scream series, the good Halloweens, the good Nightmare on Elm Streets, and we do marathons of them now, Saw and Purge. And I couldn't get anybody even come over during the month to do these marathons with me. It was really weird this year.
Yeah, your mind's not on it. It's on COVID.
Yeah.
COVID Halloween. It's our COVID
That's what
Halloween.
It was. It is a COVID Halloween.
Happy COVID Halloween.
We're also going to bring in now our fourth panelist, Millie. How you doing?
Hi, Millie.
Good.
So, Millie, you had probably more exciting Halloween than most of us did. What'd you do?
I went to a bonfire, small one that a friend of mine had. Normally has a really, really big party, anywhere from 50 to 100 people. This time it was like maybe 10 of us. But we did dress in costume.
That's good.
So
What were you? What were you?
She was a
I
witch.
was just a witch.
I knew you had to be.
Which normally I do at least 4 or 5 different costumes around Halloween because I do different events and things. This time I was a witch. That's it.
Again, so even you who went out and did stuff, it affected you as well. Like it still wasn't the same as usual.
It wasn't as sociable either. I noticed. I kind of just chilled there because I was trying to keep my distance. Even though
So
we were
how many
outside,
people at your event were keeping their distance? Do you think everybody was doing it well, or do you think some people were kind of on the I don't care
most
side?
people were. There was sorry, my cat. Most people were. But there was a couple people who probably weren't as cautious as they could have been. But
I mean, I think a lot of people get that way.
Yeah.
Because they just.
But they were good about keeping away because they knew I wanted to be distant. They were very good about respecting my wishes, and they stayed away. So that was good.
Well, that's good because that's something that's been hard to find lately as well, is people who just want to respect the way you're going to be and that you don't want to.
Yeah, and my friends, we respect each other, so I think that makes a difference. When it's strangers, they don't necessarily, but usually when you have friends, if they know like you've got some reason you need to be extra cautious, they're respectful of it.
So did the party last? Did the party last all night?
I don't know. I left around a little after midnight. And it was still going, so I'm sure it lasted for a while.
All right.
Well,
that's our show, everybody.
Yeah. Show's
Thank
done.
you for joining us. That's what we all did for Halloween. I hope you had a great time.
Yeah.
But no, because... Go ahead, Lenny.
I had a bonfire, too. I built a little bonfire, and then I had my sister and I just went down there and had dinner down by the lake with the fire going, and there was a few parties that I could see around the lake that people had stuff going and Halloween lights and stuff like that, but that was it. Usually, you're all getting dressed up and having fun.
Yeah, and that's. But was it really bad? Was it kind of nice? For me, I didn't do anything. I slept for most of the day. I didn't sleep the night before very well, so I ended up sleeping for most of the evening. And I got up, and some of the plans that I had been canceled just because people didn't want to do it. And it's the first Halloween I've had since I was 18 years old that I was not part of a big party. I had to get dressed in it. My costumes are easily over $1,000. Usually. So I saved money this year. I chilled back. I put a pizza in the oven. I got some popcorn. I watched a movie. And it was kind of nice, but I don't know if it would have been as nice if the hype had been surrounding Halloween, which it was not this year.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, even in theaters, there's one horror movie out. And it's called, I think it's Let's Play or Come Play. And that's it. And it's a PG-13 boring horror movie. Even that isn't feeling Halloween. We lost a lot of movies this time. So what about around your neighborhoods, Millie? How do you think it was around your neighborhoods?
Well, yeah, I didn't really see a lot of decoration. Not like
Nobody
normal.
really filled? I don't even know. Those that don't know, we talked about it briefly. There's a place called Tilson Street in Michigan.
I live in Romeo, so I lived in Romeo.
I don't know if Tilson Street was even going on this year or was very big.
It was.
It was.
I had friends post pictures from it.
Yeah.
That's good, because a lot of things don't. Shoot one kid. So you did shoot the candy, huh, Bill? Bill, like the picture. You shoot one kid with a fun-size M&Ms. They act like it was a beanbag gun. Well, I mean, beanbags aren't bad either. At least you're enjoying the holiday spirit. So what about kids? Did anybody have... You gave out candy, but you weren't there, Lenny. Did you give out candy, Millie?
No, we don't, because of how where we live. Like, we don't face the street, so nobody thinks to come around to where we are.
So it just seems kind of pointless at that point because nobody's going to be there.
Yeah, so we haven't...
You watch everybody go back over here.
Yeah.
And in Halloween, you don't want to be yelling at kids.
Yeah, so I have a question. Okay, so when you guys buy candy to give out candy, do you buy the candy that you like, or do you buy the cheap stuff to give away?
What I like. That's what I always did.
See, I buy two separate stashes of candy. One is the shit I like.
And you don't give that away, right?
Right. Yeah, and if I get like the multi-packs, I'm like, ooh, Reese's, ooh, Snickers.
Yeah,
I'm like, ooh.
I'll do that. I'll get the multi-pack and keep my favorites and the ones I don't like as much. That's what the trick-or-treaters would get.
Yeah, all the trick-or-treaters get their
good,
choice
though.
of black licorice and milk duds. That's about it.
Oh.
Because I'm like, I don't want those.
Right.
I don't like Kit Kat, so I would give Kit Kat.
Ooh.
And I'd keep the other stuff.
Did you know that Kit Kats are made from other Kit Kats?
What?
What?
Kit Kats. The inside of Kit Kats is made from other Kit Kats. Like, they grind down the imperfect ones and then make them into the filling for the good ones.
It's the innards.
Yes.
So you're eating rejected Kit Kats?
Pretty much, yes. Every time you eat a Kit Kat, yeah.
So
What
when you guys were kids, where did you trick or treat at? Like where did
For
you
me,
go?
it was the neighborhood. For me, it was the neighborhood.
Which
I grew
was
up in.
which was where? Which was where?
Ferndale for me.
Ferndale.
I grew up at
Michigan.
11 in John R. in Madison Heights, and that's where we
I'm-
used to go.
I'm from Maryland, so.
We used to go into Royal Oak into the rich people neighborhood sometimes, but usually it was at 11 in John R. in Madison
And then
Heights.
did you ever, go to the same house twice because they had good candy that they were
Yes.
giving away?
Yes.
And did you get busted?
Yeah.
Did they say you were already here?
They didn't care.
They didn't
Yeah,
care.
you weren't. You're getting all our trick or treat show questions, Karen, because you weren't here. So that's what we had. We had talked about that on Wednesday, and it's true though. You would go to the rich neighborhoods for a lot of people. We didn't. We loved it around the neighborhood here. Apparently, we had a pretty decent turnout in my neighborhood, but nothing like it usually is.
Did you guys ever get money? Did you ever get money?
Yeah.
Never
Did
more
people
than
give
a-
away?
Never more
I like
than
it.
like 20 cents. Like I would
Usually
get
a quarter,
I'd get
maybe.
pennies in
Quarter?
the bottom of my bag.
Yeah,
you
usually
get-
it was quarters.
If it
Got
were
penny rolls
quarters,
sometimes.
You got
Did you go-
quarters?
did you go to that house multiple times?
Quarters.
Millie's from Maryland. They have
I
lots
was
more.
gonna say
over there.
quarters. I got like 20 cents in the bottom of my bag. Sometimes I
Like
got
it would
a
be a
dime.
quarter. I mean, like a quarter at a time. I mean, between people. Okay, my cat has got to go.
The cat's fitting though.
No, she's biting me. She doesn't like me talking on this
That is funny.
Oh,
and not
that's
paying
really
attention
cool.
to her.
Bill had 250 pieces of the good stuff candy, and he gave it all to two 5-year-old girls, two twin 5-year-olds. Glinda and the Wicked, good costumes. Wicked said, "I love you, Mom." Shook her head and said, "We'll be talking, Bill." Yeah, Mom probably wasn't happy about that. One house and you got the whole bag, but that's really cool you did that because I'm sure if you had that much to give away, that you didn't have a lot of trick or treaters either, and they probably were not enjoying the night as much. Did anybody have like any moments this October where they just felt depressed because of the lack of Halloween? Like, what was it?
Every time I see my friends' kids, like, okay, so my son is older. I don't really, I don't need to deal with a lot of the younger kid stuff anymore, right?
Right.
So
Well, you can if you want to.
I mean, no. So what was depressing for me was seeing how like they would like these kids are trying to go Halloween, trying to do all this Halloween stuff, and then there's nothing, and you see all these masks and on top of masks. So it's not. I mean, it just definitely wasn't the same, and it was like, my son got a whole pillowcase full of stuff, and now these kids are like have a little pile this big,
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, that's not cool. And it hurts my heart to know that these kids are missing out on something that's like that every kid has done every Halloween for years and years.
What about your kids, Lenny? Do they still celebrate, or how's that been
No, well, my oldest is 31, and then my other two are 17 or 18 now, and 16, and
Those are the two I was thinking about.
Yeah, and they're autistic, so they even when we had Halloween, it was more for me to go take them out trick or treating and dress them up and stuff, and than it was for them. They didn't care about it all that much, or the candy because they didn't like candy.
Bill, I'm actually on your side on this because really every day when I realized that it was October, it made my heart sink really. because it did not feel like October. It did not feel like Halloween around the corner. Usually I'm rushing, getting shit together. Every other day I'm excited of something new I bought for that event or something I'm going to be able to do.
Yeah, it was really weird this month to be around you and not talk about having a costume or getting something for your costume or who it was going to be.
Because I usually start in like August, and I didn't this year. And I was out of it anyway because of the COVID. But
this whole year has gone by so fast that almost every holiday has just kind of disappeared. You know, I mean, it's hardly anything has happened for each holiday. It's so minimal that it's not memorable.
And this is, I think, the first big holiday. Because I think the other one was 4th of July, maybe, but a lot of people still went like up north or out of town in a way. But Easter hit, and that was very shortly after COVID, where people like, I'm still getting together with my family. So Easter didn't take a big hit. And I think this is the first big get-together holiday we've had.
Where there were no get-togethers.
Yeah, except for Millie. And even Millie's, like, I mean, how many people were at yours, Millie?
10.
What does it usually bring
in? Between 50 and 100.
So that's a big downgrade,
but
too.
They intentionally kept it small because of COVID.
But even the 4th of July, I mean, typically there's
fireworks were canceled a lot of places. But you know what's weird? I saw more fireworks this 4th of July than I ever have before.
Why is
like
that?
When we were,
because you were home?
We went to Nashville for it. No, because you had all these side people, all these other people lighting them off consistently.
Keith and I went to Nashville for this 4th of July, and it wasn't like a big city display. It was like everybody, when we were driving around on that day, on 4th of July, it was everybody personally doing fireworks, just driving around in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that was really nice.
Yeah, so Millie, with your event being downsized, did it actually feel different at the event, or do you still think the spirit was in full effect?
It definitely felt different, but they tried to keep as much Halloween as they could, spirit, like some people really went all out with their costumes, which was awesome. And then, we had the Halloween music and stuff, so that was cool.
Kathy dresses me one time, and I dress as her. Kathy, I'm assuming you're talking about one of your friends there, Bill, and that's really cool when people do that with the costumes. That's a fun thing to do when you dress as somebody else. What's really good is when everybody gets who you're dressed as, except for the person you're dressed as.
That happened. Oh wow!
I got a story about that.
Part.
I got a story about people dressing as other people. So I work with this gentleman who's really good at impressions. Okay, really good at impressions. Like, he makes me laugh every time I have to call him. And so I call him, and he told me this story about how one Halloween he dressed as another person in his department, and then got the other person in trouble because his impression was so good of him.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was great.
Tony says even his 50th was pretty downplayed for not being able to celebrate. When was your 50th, Tony?
Tony! Oh my gosh!
I take it you know
I
Tony,
miss
Lenny.
you. You know Tony. That's my brother.
Tony. Oh, Tony. That's Tony? I didn't know his
Tony.
I didn't know his last name.
Hi, Tony.
Yeah.
So when was his 50th, Lenny?
I don't know.
Oh,
I guess it was just now.
Apparently it really was downplayed, Tony, because even your sister doesn't know. Poor Tony. You know what? We're going to take Tony out. We're going to celebrate Tony's 50th. I don't care. We're going to find something to do and take Tony out.
We're not blood brother and sister, but we're brother and sister.
Well, apparently you're not very good ones because you don't even remember his damn birthday.
I know. Sorry, Tony. I miss you.
Brandon's here. Brandon says his apartment complex left a small bag of candy on each door and said trick-or-treating was not permitted.
Oh.
So then why did they leave the candy?
So that
for the critters
without having to trick-or-treat. That way you have some.
Oh.
They left, I guess, a bag for each person. Okay. Yeah. Okay. On that one. Tony's birthday. Happy belated birthday, Tony. Tony, we're going to get you out. We're not going to downplay that shit. We're going to get fucked up. We're going to have a good night, Tony. Okay, just plan on that. That's going to happen. And also, Tony! Brandon, you know Tony, too? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Apparently everybody knows Tony but me.
Brandon does not know Tony. Well, everybody knows Tony. Tony's kind of a rock star.
Yeah, he is like a rock star there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tony misses everybody, too. We miss you, Tony. We're gonna make up for that stuff for sure. So, you had mentioned how things were downplayed at your party. I'm gonna go start with Lenny. What did you had to have missed something about Halloween this year? What did you miss most?
Going to Kit Kat, seeing your costume, and having a whole lot of fun.
First year, I didn't get to do something like that too.
Yeah, that was
that's
like
huge.
It's like the first time in more than 20 years.
Yep.
Yeah, wrong Tony, Brandon.
Tony. Yep, that's what I miss. I just miss that kind of thing.
I truly missed it this year too. From what I understand, the bar had barely anybody in it this year, and it wasn't just my bar. There was several of them out there.
Yeah.
Nobody was showing up to them because of how much it was. And I miss getting dressed up, and I miss that moment of superstardom for me. Like when I do that entrance at the Kit Kat for my big show, for me it's superstar moment, and I love that. And just watching everybody's reaction, it's probably the biggest thing about the year. And I also miss giving out candy and stuff like that.
I miss doing the costume contest and Halloween karaoke, sing Halloween songs.
Karen, you'll be back in a moment. I'm gonna get rid of you for 1 second. There you are. All right, we're gonna switch out Karen for a second. She's got stuff to attend to, so she'll be back with us in just a minute. And Millie, what about you? What was I think the biggest event? You said, do you usually do this bonfire thing every year?
No, he normally has it as a party inside. But
okay. But it is a Halloween party every year. He does.
It's a Halloween. You must come dressed in costume. He does a prize for the best costume. It's usually like a $50 gift card somewhere, and he usually has a thing that's like trick or treat. You have to pick what you want, a trick or a treat, and he has it available, like either a trick you have
what
to
kind
do
of tricks?
or a treat. Different things. Like one year it was like eating this flour that apparently makes your tongue go numb or whatever, but I don't know. That was one year.
Oh, that's kind of cool though.
Yeah,
but why would you ever pick trick over treat? I mean, treat is
People
candy.
do.
I was like,
people do.
Yeah, but trick is fun.
Yeah, but I don't want to eat a random flour.
If it's going to make your tongue numb.
It's going to be. It's been different things.
So at least last night was a beautiful night. So if you had to be outside for trick or treating or doing anything like that, it was such a nice night.
I did spend about an hour in my hot tub just staring up outside. That was nice. I mean, but I can do that any day of the year.
Because there's been Halloweens that have snowed and sleet and rain and awful. I mean, it was quite a nice night, and it's too bad that most kids weren't out doing it then because it was a nice night.
Because usually it's cold and rainy. Yeah, you're right about that. Halloween is usually a messed up time of year. And, of course, it was good this year because nobody could do anything. So that's what you miss. I mean, I miss my moments. So I was asking about how you did that. That's your every year event usually on Halloween?
Yeah, it's on the Saturday near Halloween. He always does it on the Saturday night.
I think that was a little different for a lot of people because there were parties to go to this year. Because typically when Halloween falls on a Friday or Saturday, you have a party event. When it falls during the week, you're more about getting your house decorated and getting stuff out there. And what about all that? Did anybody here decorate their house?
Nope.
Inside only.
I have my Christmas lights up.
Lenny, go to hell. Now,
but that's from last year. Wait.
Oh, okay, that's okay then.
It's the lazy person's way. I just leave them up. So one year, Tony and I actually went to Kit Kat on Halloween. When you were doing your Halloween thing, but I can't remember what. So Tony, if you're watching, what was Keith's outfit the night that we went to Kit Kat on Halloween? Because that was a really fun night. That was when I met a friend of mine that was a boyfriend, I should say, and he was he came dressed in a motocross outfit, but I thought he was a Power Ranger.
I just walked into that. That was,
and I was like a go-go girl, and he thought I was like Britney Spears.
I'm trying to remember this now.
Tony wound up giving the guy my phone number, and he grabbed him and he said, "If you hurt her, I'll kill you."
He did that to me. I was like,
probably.
I think he's done that to every single person that says hello to you.
Good.
God bless Tony. So, Karen, we were talking about what is the biggest thing you missed this Halloween?
I've actually missed this for more than just this Halloween, but I haven't actually dressed up since before I lost my leg. And that was a little over 8 years ago.
Not at all.
I actually haven't dressed up at all since.
Why not?
It's hard to find an amputee costume.
Oh, you know what? Okay, next Halloween, you and I are going out, and we're going to go as Captain Hook, and I will put a hook on my finger, and you put the thing on your leg.
Okay, so what I want to do, actually, what I actually want to do is I want to be in a public place, and I want to sit in a wheelchair and have a fake leg. And I want somebody to come and hack it off.
I will.
Just to look at everybody.
Yeah, Lenny will. Lenny's into that shit. Lenny wants to kill.
You can totally, and I want to make it so I squirt blood everywhere and just freak out everybody around me.
I don't know if you're squirting blood everywhere in the middle of a restaurant or something. I don't know
Maybe
how
not
well
at the restaurant. I'm talking about like an outdoor activity around.
Do it at a Walmart. It'll be common play.
Yeah, at Walmart it'll be great.
Nobody will notice. So
then when everybody realizes it's corn syrup, they're going to be like, oh.
So dressing up was one of the things you've missed, obviously, over the last 8 years. What about this Halloween? What do you think was different?
I didn't see kids. It was just I live in an apartment complex, and this is actually my first Halloween at this particular complex. Even though the last one I lived at wasn't, that busy with kids, I still saw a few. Saw not even any walking around my window, and I live on a bottom floor, so I should.
So you didn't see any kids out by you?
No, not a single one.
I didn't see many. I didn't even have my light on. I should have. Well, I was asleep for half the time, to be fair. I was like...
Yes. I invited him over, but he slept through it.
I didn't sleep through it. I texted you. So you didn't look at my text. You texted me 2 hours later, I'm just going to go to bed. Like, I texted you. You just didn't look. But that's okay. But like I said, everything was just, it was so messed up this year.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of stuff going on, and people are still getting into even the politics, too, and everything. I think you've lost groups and stuff like that for it. You've lost a lot of people who would usually hang around each other. That was splitting things up, 2-3 years ago already. And now you got the COVID. Nobody wants to be around that. It was a full moon. I mean, like, it's the worst Halloween to happen because we got an extra hour. Except for, I think, those people in Arizona.
Yeah.
There's a few that didn't. But we most of the United States got a whole extra hour of Halloween. We had a full moon. It was the perfect night for it.
Oh, yeah. The moon was amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yes,
that was. What a perfect scenario for a Halloween night.
I was playing
nobody's
video games, so
out
I don't know
there.
what the moon was like.
It was beautiful, a clear sky and everything. Yeah,
I'm a giant nerd. I was playing video games.
So, what's your most memorable Halloween that you've ever had, Lenny?
It was exactly what I just told. Well,
it was
it was. It was that. It was that night because I was dancing on a chair. I was like drinking, and I was on top of a chair dancing. And Tony was with me, and he was with my girlfriend because he liked my girlfriend. And this was a last-minute decision. So we all just went to, like, Target and got outfits. So I found this outfit and these white go-go boots and all this stuff. And
I remember the outfit.
Yep. So we wound up at Kit Kat.
You remember the outfit, huh?
I remember the outfit.
And I was dancing on top of a chair, and I see this guy walk in, and he just smiled. And I really loud said, "He is so cute." Like, and then, okay, so then, now Kit Kat's a small place, and I'm like, I have to meet him. I'm like, Tony, I have to meet him. I have to meet this guy, So I had to go to the bathroom, and the bathroom was like 2 feet from me. So I decided to go the other way and go all the way around and squeeze my way around until I'm like facing this guy. And he turns around and he's looking at me. And I said, "You're mine." And then he said, "I'm here with someone." And I said, "That's okay, I'll wait." And then I went to the bathroom.
That sounds so familiar, too. I seem to recall a lot of that.
Okay, but here's the best part. The best part was that Tony wound up talking to him, and because Tony used to do motocross and stuff. And so Tony started talking to him, and he wound up given him my phone number, and I did not really even know that he had my phone number. Okay, so here's the best part, is that I really wanted to sing before he left. And he starts walking out the door, and somebody else got to sing before. And then so he leaves, and I was so bummed out. Like, I'm never going to ever meet this motocross or Power Ranger at the time. And then once Tony told me it was motocross, then I turned him into Motocross Man. So he went from the Power Ranger to the Motocross Man. And then about 3 days later, I get this text from Motocross Man.
Oh my gosh.
And then we started dating, and we dated for, here's the happy and sad. We dated for 4 to 5 years, but he ultimately killed himself last year.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I know about that. So this was even a bigger, harder Halloween than usual.
Yep.
Now, do you think that any of that had to do with, aside from COVID, that affect you at all for this year as well?
That was a pretty special night. It was a really good night, and it was a really, really, really fun time. So yes, I do miss that part of it. But I wasn't real depressed because I was out around a bonfire with my favorite sister on earth, and we just shared a whole lot of just fun moments. So it was just kind of meant to be what it was. Yeah.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. It's a positive attitude towards it because it's a tragic event, and sometimes losing people in your life and not having them around anymore can make Halloween really, really difficult even further to follow it. Millie, what's probably your favorite Halloween night experience or party that you did?
Gosh, I don't know. Last year was pretty awesome. Just because I feel like I had a lot of really great events with all kinds of different people. I had the one that I normally go to, my friend Rob, that had his small bonfire this year. Usually has his really big party, and that was a lot of fun. When Keith hosted the zombie wedding at Jamboozy's last year. That was all in that same week, and there was a couple other different Halloween parties. I went to a Halloween karaoke party and a couple other things, and it was just because it was so many, and I had to do so many different costumes. I wore a different costume for each one.
Multiple events. When you can fill your October with a lot of things, that's what helps a lot too. Usually I do it with stuff like the movies, haunted house, my movie marathons that I have, and then I've got all the parties that I'm usually doing on the side.
Yep,
it's fun, but you couldn't do a lot of that this year.
Yeah, I didn't do any haunted houses. Usually, my husband and I always go to at least one haunted house, and none this year. We didn't do it.
Oh, I'm talking. I was trying to get one of our regular panelists, Brandon, but he's not sure if he's going to be able to actually get on here before the show's over. But he actually works the haunted house. He works the haunted events, and he said last night was like banging. He said there was a lot of people there,
wow.
Which I was surprised on. But he said the rest of the year it's been dead. And I think it got to the point where Halloween came around and people just realized there's nothing to do. Let's find a haunt. Let's find something to do. And they went out there because it affected throughout the month. And that's why it hit me throughout the month, because I love haunted houses. Who else goes to haunted houses? Probably not you, Lenny.
Well, I've been on haunted hay rides, but not haunted houses. And those are kind of fun.
What about you, Karen?
I haven't been to one since before I lost my leg.
I was thinking you were going to say that. Do you miss them?
Yes, actually I do, because one of the most memorable times is when you and Joe and I went to a particular haunted house, and this was years and years ago. Forget how many years ago it was, but me, you, and Joe had a great time, and I miss that, and I can't walk around them like I used to. Like I really want to go to the one in what's that one in Pontiac?
Not Erebus, because it sucks.
The one, I think it might be Erebus, because it has a couple of floors.
Yeah, that was Erebus. Erebus was really good when it first started, but it's just not the same anymore. Now it's more walking than anything.
Yeah, but I can't do that now. So
well, a lot of haunted attractions are not accessible to people in your situation.
Oh
either.
yeah, it's not.
They require the crawling and the tight spaces and getting through.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be able to take my chair through one of those twirling, one of those tubes.
Oh, that would be so fun. Can you imagine how much fun that would be?
That would be great, but
the black hole is one of my favorite attractions in the haunted houses. I love walking through that. That would be totally safe. You're on a steady bridge, but you would feel like you're on a roller coaster the entire time.
Yeah, totally.
I'd actually be a little jealous of you at that time. I miss it. Haunted houses is something that we greatly miss. Anybody out there been to a haunted house this year? Just curious how they were for them if they have been. So, and that's...
I heard about drive-through ones.
Do you think the future of Halloween has changed with this?
No, because I think COVID's here for a while, but it's not here forever. Eventually this is gonna settle down a bit.
There'll be better treatments, vaccines, things like that, so more people will be willing to go and do more.
So you guys are willing to bet by this time next year it'll be back to normal?
I wouldn't bet on this time next year.
No, it won't be back to normal, but it will be better. People will be just more aware of what to do and how to do it. To make it safe. I'm
wondering with the precautions that people have made. And is that going to become kind of a statement? Because a lot of people, I think, are going to live differently after this virus is over. I think they're going to live more of a safety route. And I'm wondering if people discovered routes of doing things, such as giving out candy, that they feel is a better avenue. And what do you think? Do you think that's going to be possible?
Well, some people do like what I do, right? What I did, this time, just put a bowl out and say, take 2 or take 3 or whatever. And they do that. They do that already. Yeah, they do it already. So there'll be more of that, and then there's just going to be those people that don't care, that are. And who knows? By this time next year, it just might be different. So we don't know.
I'm an advocate for slingshotting candy at kids.
But that would be fun.
I think some of the inventive stuff people have come up with, as far as giving away the candy on Halloween night. I think some of that's going to stick around because some stuff was really cool that they did. Yeah. You've seen some of the shoots out of the pumpkin's mouth. I don't know if you've seen those. They've been on Facebook.
I saw a shoot going down the rail of somebody's porch.
Yeah.
And they had an enclosed porch and they put a PVC pipe down their rail and was like, "Here, put your bag up."
See, it would have been a perfect night for me because, like I said, I usually jump in or get the butcher's costume or something like that and chase kids down the street. I could have just been shouting, "I've got COVID," and ran down the street, and that would scare them just as much. I didn't even have to get dressed. I didn't even think about that until it was too late. That would have been enough.
I would have ran.
I think everybody would have, and I halfway wouldn't have been lying here. So I'm in quarantine right now, so. Today's my last day. Yay.
Well, good.
Can't wait to get out of here because I'm out of Jack Daniels.
That's That's why you didn't come over last night. Because you were in quarantine.
I ended up falling asleep. I couldn't sleep the night before. So did anybody watch any movies? Anybody watch any of the movies?
Nope.
What about Halloween specials? What'd you watch, Millie?
Well, we always watch the Charlie Brown one because we have it on DVD. We watch it every year. And then leading up to Halloween, we watch different movies, Halloween-themed movies, a lot of the Tim Burton.
So I tried to get as many as I could in. I ended up having my marathons myself. Literally, yesterday morning, I got up, I'm like, screw it, I got to get back to sleep early in the morning. So I started watching Scream. Of course, one of my favorite series. I ended up watching all 4 of them before falling asleep. I couldn't, but I still got the marathons in. Halloween specials is something I wanted to touch on a little bit because I think, even taking it apart from COVID right now, I think there's a big problem going on with Halloween specials. At first, I didn't see a lot on this year at all.
The only one I actually saw was the Roseanne one. But it's not the Roseanne anymore, the Connors, whatever it's called now.
But stuff like It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, which is the one that Millie watched. That's on Apple TV exclusively now.
Yep, unless you have a DVD.
Yeah, if you have a DVD player, which how long that's going to work for is unknown, and I don't even know if you can buy it on Blu-ray. I'm sure you can somewhere. But streaming services are getting a hold a lot of the Halloween specials, and I think that's the route they're wanting to go, and I think that's not good because there was something I always liked. I don't know if people still do it, but gathering around and watching them when they came on TV every year. It was a family event.
Yeah. Like the Wizard of Oz.
And you have to sign up for Apple TV to do it.
Yeah.
Which means you need an Apple device, and I think a lot of things are going that route. I can't even imagine what the Thanksgiving and Christmas specials are going to be like.
We watch. Yeah. I can see that too.
I really wish TV would start, regular broadcast TV would start making an impact again. There is still something about gathering around at the right time. Even the streaming service like Netflix can do it, but they should do a broadcast time of this show. It's not available, something to bring people together, not just watch whatever. Because it's also losing the majestic aspect of it, of just being able to pull together for this one night. We got to see this as tradition every year. Wizard of Oz for you, Lenny.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, I think, is actually for Thanksgiving, I think it's the longest running movie for every day Thanksgiving every year. It was Wizard of Oz. Bill mentioned the Flintstones, Rockula and Frankenstone. I actually remember that too. I was a huge Flintstone fan when I was a kid. I still am. I still turn them on every once in a while because I got to watch them.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Rocky Horror Picture Show was one.
Oh, yeah.
We were going to do that, but even then, I don't know how we could have really pulled it off this year. Things changed again drastically for us.
Right. Yep.
And we lost James Bond. I got to bring that up. We lost James Bond. I'm so sad.
I know. I can't believe he was, 90-something years old?
He was 90.
He was 90, yep.
Yep, he was 90. I mean, he lived a great life. He was an amazing actor. Sean Connery was gone. I actually just want to bring it up. I lost a dear friend who passed away this morning. Had a heart attack on Thursday. And her name was Renee. God bless you.
Yeah.
She was a fantastic friend. And this is not a COVID thing. I don't think it had anything to do with COVID at that point. Could have. We'll wait and see. But when that happens, me and Millie, I'll actually tell you the story, because me and Millie had planned on performing the song Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead for this show. And because of her passing, unfortunately, we changed. We said we're not going to do that song because it would have been in poor taste in that. But it shows that when something happens, it's a ripple effect. It affects everything around you. The show, it affected me wanting to dress up and getting more of a serious attitude on here. Mm-hmm. And she was really big on Halloween, too. She was an amazing lady. So God rest Sean Connery and Renee. You guys are both partiers, so you're going to have fun up there. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
My mother had a big thing for Sean Connery. She loved him.
Yeah.
It was his voice.
Sven Google, Wolfman meets Frankenstein. Sven Huli. I don't want to know Sven Huli. What is that? I should know that. It's not ringing a bell. Wolfman meets Frankenstein. All those old monster movies. Anybody watch those old monster movies anymore?
Oh, I used to love Abbott and Costello. That
Meet Frankenstein.
Yes,
Wolfman.
That was like my favorite. Or Sir Graves Ghastly, and that coffin would open.
Yep. You got like anybody remember stuff like The Ghoul when The Ghoul was on?
Yep.
I don't remember that.
I don't think you would have known. I think The Ghoul was Detroit based.
Oh, okay.
But there were a few other ones out there. We talked about Elvira briefly, and
Elvira, I remember that.
A lot of Halloween icons have disappeared. Are there any new Halloween icons you can think of?
I can't think of any.
You know, I didn't think about it till recently when I was going through that we always had somebody new or something that was related to Halloween. We'd want to see them, and like I said, Elvira was one, The Ghoul for other people, and Halloween seems to be dying. That bothers me. That scares me a little bit.
It'll spin around.
Not
until
just
this year. But until this year, I don't know. I felt like when I moved here a few years ago, Halloween's way bigger here than it is where I'm from. The part of Maryland I'm from. It's not anywhere near like this. Like usually it's mainly just the kids that get dressed up. Occasionally a few adults they'll have a party, but they're not going to go all out on the costumes. Here, people go all out on the costumes and would have all kinds of events going on.
I think certain places Halloween is still bigger. I just think a lot of communities, because things have changed a lot. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. Rest in peace off of The Ghoul. Rip off of The Ghoul. I like how you put R.I.P. in capital letters there, Bill. That was the Sven Huli, I think it is. On there, and Ghoul was based in Toledo. Thank you, Bill. So, yeah, Toledo's still close to Michigan, Detroit area. That's probably why we still remember them and saw them. But I do believe that Halloween has, like, dropped off and such. Trick-or-treating is becoming harder for kids to do. So I don't think there's a lot of trick-or-treaters anymore. People aren't into the decorating spirit as much. I think Halloween's losing its luster. And I'm curious, take COVID out of it.
Okay.
What can we do to improve that?
All right. Well, first of all, when we were kids, you could trick or treat all night, and you didn't start till it was dark and it was scary, you know?
Yeah.
Now at 5 o'clock, well, it's light out, ends at whatever, you know? It's not nearly the same feeling of running around in the dark in your costume.
Yeah, I used to be out till 10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
if you could go later too, and there'd still be stuff to do. You'd still be running around long after that sometimes.
Right.
And that's what I mean.
Back
I
to
think,
that house with the big candy bars multiple times.
and in my
Or the
opinion,
one that left the bowl out.
yeah, you always find those.
Yes.
Halloween is the most, for me, one of the most amazing holidays ever created. Really, I believe it is. Because like I said, it's one night of the year where all bets are off. Where you want to be scared, you want to be nervous, you can be anybody you want to be.
Okay, so
You
why
can
was
act
it
that
created
way.
at all?
Well,
You know,
not
if
for
it-
the reason of dressing in costume,
Right.
but that's why I said created. It's, All Hallows Eve, Samhain, all that stuff. There's a backstory to all of Halloween. But what we created was the Festival of the Ghouls. And kids got so excited for it. I don't know how the Halloween parties, nobody has kids in school right now, I don't think, so I can't ask anybody on this panel. But I don't think a lot of schools did Halloween parties. I don't think kids dressed up for that.
Some of them some of them did, because I had a girlfriend of mine went to the school parade and they did it outside. So they're still doing it.
Yeah, they did it differently. I know some also even did a virtual one too. Someone told me that they did had all the parents send the school like pictures of the kids in their costumes, and they made a whole thing for them to watch and stuff.
I think
So that
Bill
they
just
use
stumbled
it that
onto
way.
something really quick, and I'm going to bring this up. I said, how can we make it better? And Bill, usually you come up with some funny, random shit, and I'm laughing, and it's crazy. But this idea could catch on. Give all the kids candy and pop all day long, so that when they go out, they will be holy terrors. And I think that's something that could help bring Halloween back. I think... I do partly blame some parents. I think you got to pump your kids up for Halloween again.
Isn't that what we used to do when we were in school, Keith?
Yeah.
Like, we'd get all day in school if it was like a weekday for Halloween. We'd have like the Halloween parties at school, dress in costume for school, get all sugared and popped up at school, and then come home and do more.
And now,
See, I don't think
if you
we
wear
did in
the
school,
wrong
for me.
costume in school, they kick you out or they make you take it off. They don't allow that in school anymore to even have a whole lot of fun with it.
I truly believe that's really got to change, too. And that's one of the biggest things we have to change. You want to be politically correct, I'm totally fine with that. You want to say you can't do this, you can't do this, that's fine. Not on Halloween. Halloween is one of those days you should be allowed to do what you want and be something different, something fun. And I'm not talking truly offensive. Okay? I'm not talking, and forgive me, this isn't racial, I'm not saying be a black man with a noose around his neck. I'm not saying wear a pointed white hood. I'm not saying anything that is absolutely offensive. But some of the minor things, because you go as a black person, even if you don't paint your face, it's becoming offensive to do that. It's becoming offensive to go as a woman now. To dress as a woman on Halloween.
I was going to say, how offensive would it be? Remember when I was your Ike?
Yeah, you were dressed as a black man. You were my Ike to my Tina Turner, and that was probably about 15 years ago.
Yeah. That was
That
actually
we
one of
did
my favorite memories, by the way.
That was a great one. That's because
Yeah,
you
it
got to
was.
shave my ass. Anyway. You didn't think I'd bring that up, but I did.
I was hoping you wouldn't, but I mean, I did what I did.
But no, and I think of some of the costumes that people wore that I thought were great when I was a kid that you just, it's offensive. It's wrong. It's whether it's because of religion, whether it's because of race, whether it's because of sex. I don't know how to bring that back, but I think it needs to come back for Halloween. I think that's a really important thing we need to do somehow. And it starts with just stop being a bunch of pansy-ass bitches that can't take a joke. Because the one thing I don't know if a lot of people have ever noticed when it comes to racism and sexism and all that, the people that aren't bothered are usually the races and the sexes that should be. Mm-hmm. It's usually white people who are bitching about racism against blacks. It's men bitching about the sexism against women and stuff like that, because they're all trying to be whatever you want to call it, woke or whatever it happens to be. And most of the time, until it's brought up as a huge issue, I believe a lot of these racists and stuff think I'm okay with it. It's cool. When I did, and of course I went blackface quite a few times because I was literally Tina Turner, Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, and to pull these characters off, obviously I fully did the part. And most every colored person I'd say I ran into, nobody had a problem. They loved the outfit beyond belief. But I ran into quite a few white people at that time that were offended by the outfit. And that doesn't make sense to me because that's trying to be politically correct for the sake of looking good and looking now woke. And we've got to somehow bring back that Halloween is a time of celebration of being someone else.
And you can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
right.
That's kind of the point.
Right.
To a limit. That's why it became what it was. It was some of the most amazing times I've had in my life. Literally, I could probably narrow a good 2/3 of them to Halloween events on that. What do you think has changed? I'm going to start with Karen. Why not? Over the years, I obviously just kind of ranted a little bit there. That was weird. My headphones just literally shocked my ear.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm deaf on this side, so I'll hear you over here. That was really weird. So, Karen, what do you think has changed the most? What do you think has really brought Halloween downhill a little bit?
Honestly, it's the...
I'm so picturing
really
that movie
pineapple.
right now.
Oh, my God. So, sorry, distracted by Bill. I think...
that movie couldn't be made.
For me, the biggest change was, it's literally the kids. Like, okay, when I was young, I would see kids everywhere, all over the streets. Even when my son was young, very young, and I took him to, instead of going around our house, we went by his grandmother's house at 10 and Ryan. There were kids everywhere. But then when, especially when I was with my ex-husband and we lived in a trailer park in Sterling Heights, and when the 8 years that we were there, I literally had 10 trick-or-treaters over the whole 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was the whole thing about it. That was such a change for me because I'm seeing kids everywhere when I'm growing up and everywhere else. But then all of a sudden we buy candy and we have our light on and we're sitting out there and we get 3 trick-or-treaters the whole night. So me and Jason,
I think it depends where you live. Because, a friend of mine, she says they normally have 450 trick-or-treaters a night. They didn't this year. They had more like 150 to 200 because
That's
of COVID.
still pretty good.
That's still a lot.
It depends where you live, I think.
Tilson Street, okay, so I grew up in Romeo, and Tilson Street was not Tilson Street, when I was little.
Right, it's developed.
Yeah, it's developed, and
it's not even one street anymore.
Right, the people that live on Tilson Street, everyone has to outdo each other, but the candy that you get on Tilson Street sucks because they can't afford to give out anything that's expensive or good.
After spending all that money.
With the amount of people that come through Tilson Street is crazy. It's just absolutely it's nutty. When you go there, it's just wall-to-wall people going from house to house to house to house. They give out tiny little sweet tarts, and stuff. But
the gross ones.
Yeah, the gross ones.
Sweet tarts are good. I still like sweet tarts.
Gross.
So they give out all this. They do all the money, for all the show. But come on, give some good candy too.
The whole excuse that candy is too expensive, I'm just not going to buy. Because you can get bags of candy so cheap. You could literally spend $10 at the dollar store, have enough candy to give every person at least one piece of candy. But you could do something. Okay,
it would cost them a lot of money. Have you ever been there on Halloween?
Yes.
They have hundreds and hundreds.
It's just nonstop.
Yeah, but you can
more
for
than
$4
hundreds.
or $5, you can get a bag of 250 pieces of candy. So
now
you're going to spell me you're going to do that all to your house and do this big decoration, but you're not going to put out $20 to $50 for candy. I mean, come on.
It's more than
you're
that.
You're paying that in electricity.
It's more than that. I would probably guess it would be upwards to $500 in candy. I'm not kidding.
Well,
I would be so curious now
I'm curious
to find out. That's how many people go there, and It's ridiculous. They now charge. I just drove through there the other day. They charge $5 for parking now everywhere around there. It's become this huge event. It's just crazy.
Oh.
So.
What do you think, Millie? As we were talking initially with that, what do you think? I don't know if you can directly relate to Halloween going downhill because you were in Maryland. You said there wasn't a whole lot that your family did with that.
I think Maryland, the part of Maryland anyway I'm from, because I guess it depends where you live. Halloween just is not as big a deal, not to how it is here.
That's so you didn't. How long ago since you moved here from Maryland?
I moved here in 2014.
2014. So yeah, you haven't really gotten to see it. I think it started to go downhill probably around the mid 2010s. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's probably about right.
What about you? Your downhill was still more than from where
So for you,
from.
it's been kind of an uphill, and it's still been exciting, so that's good. And don't get me wrong, Halloween is still fun. It's still exciting. I still love the parties. I love the events. I love everything we do. I just think the build-up to Halloween has been forgotten, and I think there's something else to blame. I'll get to in a minute. Linny, I want to ask you, now, what do you think the downfall of Halloween comes from?
The downfall from now?
Not Corona, outside of COVID.
Outside of COVID, okay, so you've got all kinds of now news media, socials, media and everything else showing all the bad things that can happen and stuff like that. And a long time ago, there was none of that, and we were so carefree, and we went from way out in the country. We would drive to Detroit to go trick-or-treating and not be scared. And our parents just let us run amok. And we would go all around. You weren't afraid somebody was going to do anything stupid to you. And now every parent is so much more protective and all of that. So that's part of it. And then with schools, when I was a kid, you could dress up as whatever you wanted to be. One time I went in junior high, I looked like a Martian, but I was all dressed in green. And then on my butt said, "I'm a little snot." So you could so you could get away with doing just stupid stuff like that. You can't even do it anymore. They won't even let you wear a mask at school. Everything is it's just been watered down so much to take the fun out of it.
I agree. I think possibly there's a little bit that says Halloween got too big for itself. And to the point, it's just people had to start pulling back. I think that's part of it. But before I continue with one of the biggest reasons, I think Bill says why you're not a top fan. Bill, you're a top fan right here. Okay, you are a top fan. You should be. I don't pick them. It's Facebook algorithms, and we know not to trust those. But you will be. I think a big thing that's brought Halloween down is the holidays of Christmas and Thanksgiving. I think they have started pushing it so early. Before Halloween is over, Christmas decorations are in stores. Stores have sections done up. And I think they're pushing the mood from people that they're sick of seeing it. Maybe, who's lying? Yeah. You call me a liar, Danielle? He's here. He's a top fan in my heart, Danielle.
You're definitely on the
nose. Is that Hazel crying eye? Okay, so you're talking about Bill's picture. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, so I think that has a lot to do with it too. I think Christmas and Thanksgiving are kind of invading Halloween.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Christmateers are invading Halloween, encroaching upon it.
They push everything into the stores too quickly.
Yeah, they're losing the spirits. Like the stores don't care about, because Halloween isn't banked for them like Christmas is. It's not the money. They make money on Halloween, but they make it off kids' costumes,
right? More
than anything. Yeah, Bill said he saw Christmas commercials yesterday. Perfect example right there. Why on Halloween? Why not pushing Valentine's and Easter and all that shit around Christmas?
And then they skip over Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving just doesn't fucking exist.
It's my favorite one. I'd rather have food than presents any day.
There's already Christmas music and everything now already.
Where's the Thanksgiving music?
And I always thought it was good when I was growing up, and for a good portion of when I was an adult too. Christmas didn't start until the Macy's Day Parade.
Right.
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That was the start of Christmas when you first saw Santa.
Yeah, that's when your tree went up.
And everything was set. When October was over, Halloween went down, you got into the Thanksgiving mood, the Thanksgiving spirit, And then you went into Christmas, and then you had 7 days to get ready for New Year's. That was always kind of together, which is fine. And that's how the flow went. And now it's like, okay, the entire last quarter of the year is all Christmas dedication. So I think that we should all go into these stores and just start running amok and tearing shit down and throwing everything. I'm creating a coup right now. Okay.
Let's just go destroy all the Christmas displays we can find.
Oh yeah, I don't know where Wayne is tonight. Actually, because I'm COVID, Wayne is working for me tonight. Danielle, don't make me come over there. Oh, God. Bill and Danielle are at it again. They're like our diehards. It's doing it again. Why the fuck is my thing shocking me? I was like,
because it hates you. Do you want these?
Apparently it does.
Do you want these?
You're wearing those right now. We're good. So if worse comes to worse, I'll pull this one out. It's fine. So I do think the holidays are ruining it. I do think the parents partly are, because we talked about a bit on trick-or-treating show that I think the parents are finding their own personal parties, something that Danielle had said on our previous show, that their own parties are more important than their kids' excitement. And Halloween should still be about the kids, but you can still enjoy it as an adult. You just got to learn the balance of both. But a lot of parents, I think, are trying to get ready for all these parties and stuff, and they don't care about the kids. Let's get the kids taken care of really quick, and let's go do our thing. So if we could do something to make it better on our own, what do you think would be a good thing, a good start to that? As a whole, not you individually, but what do you think would be a good start for everybody trying to make Halloween, once again, a very exciting celebrated holiday? I mean, you look at movies, I'll ask you in 1 second, Karen. You look at movies like Hocus Pocus and even the Halloween franchise, or any movie that takes place at Halloween, and you look at those movies and you can see how big Halloween is. Mm-hmm. You look at the way everything was around, and that is what I think needs to be brought back. Go ahead. We'll start with Karen.
My thing is if the parents need to get their kids psyched about it like they were. Mm-hmm. Get their kids psyched about it in the same way that they're getting ready for the party. Get your kids the same way for their party.
And sometimes maybe give up your party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, especially at a certain age, make it about your kids. Push that in. What about you, Lenny?
Get rid of the curfews for kids. Let them run amok all night long.
I think that's a good idea. We literally had... fuck you, Bill. I'm doing the shock thing to me. Happy Halloween. Merry Christmas. Fuck off, Bill. Before I mention that one really quick, Danielle says, I do enjoy Christmas goes on for a while because it's such a busy time and we need to enjoy it. That's true. That's nice that Christmas does, but come on, it goes on for a month if you start at Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to go on for 2-3 months.
It takes away the specialness of it if it lasts too long. It's the people who
start Christmas shopping in July that are...
Yeah, and
I start Christmas shopping in September usually just to spread it out financially for me.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, that's what people still shop for Christmas early, and that's totally fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think it's a problem that you're bombarding media and stores. When I walk into a Myers or Walmart, I don't want to walk into a Christmas section on October 15th.
Right.
Because then any thoughts of Halloween in my head are gone.
Right.
And now I'm irritated with Christmas being displayed so early. Danielle, I think Halloween need more games, same as you do at family reunions. That's true, too. Another thing people don't have around anymore is like family reunions. That's a good point, too. More interactive activities.
Graveyard games.
I know a few of my acquaintances and friends that have kids, where they had areas maybe where the trick-or-treating was canceled. They did family stuff where they had games and had them dress in costume and did all different kinds of fun activities. And some of their kids were even they liked it better than regular trick-or-treating because it was real family time. They got a lot of attention and got to do a lot of things together.
The bobbing for apples, the pin the eyes on the pumpkin, the deployed treats and stuff, those are good examples. But the thing is, a lot of the adults today carried those over from childhood and forgot to give them back to the kids.
Right.
Like the adults are enjoying these games, but they forgot they started when you were younger. Devil's Night was another portion that I thought has changed. Now, I don't promote vandalism except for on Devil's Night. Sometimes that shit's fun. I'm not
I was
promoting
gonna say I've
still.
done my share of TPing houses.
We've all done it. And I live in a subdivision, and there was a big Facebook post, and granted, it's not good, but it's like, thanks whoever egged my car and went on this big rant for Halloween night. And I'm like, we're in a subdivision and one car, a couple cars got egged, or houses. I'm like, that is nothing.
I went for a walk. I went for a walk yesterday, and on the sidewalk there were eggs. And I thought it was kind of funny.
Okay, decorating treats, not deployed treats. That's what Danielle meant by that. That's fine. Deployed, I thought you just meant like launching them at kids, so I was good with that.
I was thinking like hidden treats that they had to find.
Ace Hardware putting out Christmas stuff October 25th. It's really ridiculous, and I think that's hard. Danielle, you stay good at this Devil's Night. I'm sorry. I stay good in this Devil's Night. Danielle, I'm really surprised, because Danielle, if you missed our Wednesday show, Danielle's a holy fucking terror. She is one crazy woman. Yeah, so I think we've all got to work together to bring it back. I think we have to try to get other people in it, too. And sometimes it doesn't hurt to, if you have friends with kids, to go over there and create activities that you're all involved in. I don't see jack-o'-lanterns anymore very often.
No, yeah, right.
I see a few, and that's, like I said, you carve those
jack-o'-lanterns. That was the only Halloween thing that I actually wanted to do this year, was actually carve a pumpkin, and I didn't get a chance to do it.
Pull those seeds, bake those seeds.
I didn't do it this year. I did it last year, but not this year.
Yeah, I do. I still do them on occasion, but you just don't see them everywhere. And people are like, well, it's going to get smashed. I'm like, it's going to get destroyed anyway. Take the shot. Still enjoying the festivity.
It's a pumpkin. They don't expect it to rot, but I don't even
Yeah.
understand.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. It's a pumpkin. It's part of the festivities. People's yards put out great decorations. Go ahead.
I can understand some people not putting out like their really expensive decorations because they get stolen, because that's happened to a couple of my friends. They've stopped putting out the really expensive ones. But stuff like jack-o'-lanterns, those aren't expensive, and you know, they get smashed or taken, so what? Not
and the memory of a jack-o'-lantern is not having it out. It's creating it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, well, hopefully at some point people are going to understand a little more what it really means to enjoy the holiday. As you know, this is our final Halloween show for the year, so happy Halloween to everybody. I hope you all had a great Halloween. It is November now. It's snow November. So at least here in Michigan it did. We got snow this morning, but it was a beautiful night last night. Halloween is a scheduled holiday every year, October 31st. It's easy to remember. That's what it's supposed to be. But it's a lot more than that. Every holiday out there, including Halloween, became the holiday it was and could still be because of participation of kids, of adults, of parents, and children. Don't ever think that what you have going is more important than the kids. And I think that's something that a lot of us take for granted. We're so busy keeping our childhood memories of Halloween alive and our teenage years of our Halloween parties alive that we forget to pass those memories down. We forget to do other things for other people. If you want Halloween to be a big thing, if you want any holiday, any event, and it's not just Halloween, because Christmas has changed a lot, Easter, family gatherings in general, 4th of July events of sitting on your house eating watermelon, watching fireworks, whatever it happens to be for you, they've all changed drastically. But the holiday itself, Halloween for example, has never moved from October 31st. It's never changed. What has changed is the people choosing to celebrate it the way they're celebrating it. Obviously this year was hard with COVID. But you can still try to have fun or do something to make it go smoothly. It will all come back. Halloween is not dead. No holidays are dead. As people, we are not dead. We are living, breathing, and we want that spark of life. So, always cherish those moments, because those are what's going to create the best memories. You know, we talk about everything we did as kids during Halloween. We did a lot on our trick-or-treat show and things we enjoyed doing. Your kids are not going to be able to talk about that. They're not going to be able to carry it on. But it's not too late. So next October comes around. I don't care what's going on. I don't care if COVID is threefold by that point, or it doesn't exist at that point. Stop by a pumpkin patch. Let your kids pick one out. Pick a night that you don't go out. Carve pumpkins with them. Make great jack-o'-lanterns to put on your porch. Spend time decorating the yard. Go get some barrels of hay and just throw it on your yard. Make it fun. Take a little time to make it extra special, because it's only going to take you one night to do it. It's going to last the entire season. And best yet, it's going to create memories for an entire life. And that's most important. Today's topic was the Devilish Night, the Halloween special. Or the Halloween show. It wasn't really as much of a special this time because of what's going on, but it's our Halloween show. It was a good conversation. I appreciate having everybody on here. You were fantastic. There was a lot of insight we got from the way it worked, because everybody's Halloween was different. It really was. This coming Wednesday, we're going to get back to our regular topics. It's a very deep topic coming up this Wednesday. Where are you, Mom and Dad? It's Wednesday, November 4th. Sorry, I should say Wednesday, not Sunday. But that's going to be on this Wednesday. It's about losing your parents, mother, father, whether to death, abandonment, anything like that, and how people deal with it and how people get through that in life. So that's going to be a heavy topic. We've got quite a few topics coming up in November. Most of them are going to be family-oriented. There's going to be the sequel to this one the following Wednesday, which is Where Are You, My Child? Another deep topic. But stay tuned, because we want to hear from you. We want to get all your input we can. You're what makes this show great. Your conversations, your inputs. Thank you, Bill, for being here. I got to say that now, because I think I'm supposed to say that. He told me. Always thank you, Bill. So that'll be a good time. Don't forget, while you're here, of course, like, subscribe, share, follow Ear Shoulder Ear Shoulder Voice on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Periscope, and Instagram, and all the rest. I'm eventually going to get that down and be able to say it in one smooth motion, but it's just so many out there. I just can't do it right now. So I am Keith Litfin, and I want you all to have a great night. Thank you, Lenny.
Yeah.
Lenny, sorry about last night, Lenny. All right.
That's all right.
I still completely love you. You are fantastic.
I love you too.
It's sleep one on Halloween, and I don't know if I'm happy or sad that I didn't have to go all out this year. And I'm lying. I'm sad about it. Yep. Millie, Maryland is a great place to grow up. I'm glad that you got to come out here and enjoy Halloween a little bit more, though. You're definitely, every time I see you very much in the spirit, and I love having you on these shows. Thank you, Millie.
Thanks, Millie.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on here.
Karen, you crazy redheaded, release the Karen woman. I love you, Karen. I wasn't going to go that far. No, Karen, it's really good having you on here, too. I know you have a lot of different views on Halloween and other holidays. And as you said earlier, the past 8 years, things have changed a lot for you.
Yeah, they have changed a lot.
But like I had said during the end of this, any physical change, anything like that, it doesn't stop you being who you are. You make that choice. Any change in date, you choose you can't do something, but you know what? You can, and you always can. Thank you again for joining us for Ear, Shoulder, Voice. I want you to all have a great night. We'll see you again on Wednesday. And also coming up this month, we're going to have another pandemic episode, part 2, since a lot of things have changed since our one in September, long after election. Let's get that out of the way. But that'll be a special event as well. Thank you again for being here. We'll see you all later, and have a great night.
Good night.
Bye. Good night.
And that was our last Halloween's credit.
I love the strawberries.
I love those.
Strawberries at the bottom of your champagne. Oh, it's just the best.
Oh, those are great.
Those are what really get you drunk. It's the fruit that's been sitting at the bottom the whole time. That's why when I do my punches on like the Christmas parties and stuff, I'm like, yeah, get the fruit. Wait, don't get the fruit yet. Get the fruit later.
Like, yes, your Christmas punch is you eat the fruit in the Christmas punch at the end of the night. Oh my God.
I've never had your Christmas punch.
Well, you're going to have to.
I'm always out of town. I
So
always go back to
good.
Maryland. I was good.
Oh, yeah,
Maryland
that's right.
for Christmas.
You
It's
think you're
how I
going this
choose
year?
to get drunk at his parties on Christmas.
Yeah, every party I have, like the summer ones too. I buy all this liquor, but what I really should buy is the punches and the special juice and drinks, because those are the ones that just I go through them like crazy.
So Keith,
Yeah.
I know that of course Kit Kat has the best party ever on a Halloween because of you. This is like your first year not doing it, you know? Did you feel relaxation, having a break, or I miss it?
I'm gonna honestly say, as much as I talked about the show that I miss getting everything ready for Halloween, it was far less stressful this October.
Because you could just kind of chill.
I didn't have to worry about getting money together, because I already knew I wasn't going to have the money to do what I usually do. So I'm like,
right.
I'm going to have to... I was originally thinking I'm going to have to kind of recycle some old stuff, get a few new things, but make something out of that.
Right.
And I've never really done that before. So the whole October, September was less stressful, because I wasn't worried about money, how am I going to get Halloween together and pay my bills and all this other stuff. Which is crucial, because I'm very shy on income, like a lot of people are. Obviously, the description of my job is to draw a crowd.
Right.
So it's not exactly a job that's making me money hand over fist, as I want it to be. But on the night of, yeah, it was terrible. It was depressing. It was really hard. I miss having it. Hi, Bonsai.
Hi, Bonsai.
Yeah, I found I wasn't as sociable as I usually am.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think partly I had to, sit so far away from everybody. And
so you guys,
I don't know, couldn't do how I normally am.
Next year, no matter what, all four of us have to come back in costume, and it's going to be a different Halloween. What do you think?
Well, we did that our trick-or-treat one.
Yeah,
I
we were dressed in
wasn't
costume.
here for that.
I know, we were in costume for trick-or-treat. We were going to be again today, too, but I was like thinking, I'm like, it's going to be better not to be, because that is how Halloween affected us.
Right.
So we did our and you could have dressed up still if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You can still do what you want.
I can't wear my costumes in public.
Danielle, you missed it. We did talk briefly about Rini on here. That was my friend that passed. That anybody who missed it, we did talk briefly, and we had that moment for her, because she will be missed. I just wanted to let you know we did not forget about her, Danielle, at all. Even though that was really hard to talk about, because she was one of the greatest friends I've ever had. She's one of those very few people that I know through the bar that I consider a true friend outside of the bar. And when I say very few, most of them are here right now.
Aww.
There's a couple other ones, but there's not a lot, as many people as I know. So, yeah, that was hard. But thank you, Danielle. I wanted to point that out, that we did mention that. But we can get dressed up for anything. We can do Halloween dressed up next year. Halloween's going to be different next year.
We should do
better
Thanksgiving
for
as turkeys.
No, at Christmas let's
Fuck
do.
is wrong with you,
no,
girl?
Seriously, at Christmas let's do Halloween, because we're gonna say screw the stores.
We should start doing that. We really should.
That actually probably is a good idea.
Yeah. We'll get all those people back for Christmas. We're going to run Halloween right into Christmas.
Exactly.
I think that's a good idea, actually. I'm gonna do like a graveyard in front of my house. It's gonna be weird in the snow. I'm gonna start fucking with people. Fuck you.
Exactly.
Fuck you. I'm starting Halloween November 1st.
The reality is, nowadays nobody knows what day it is anyway.